On the Paper Talk today, we'll be looking at the potential buyout of Manchester United from Sir Jim Ratcliffe, a die-hard boyhood United fan. Too good to be true? Well, we'll find out. We'll also be looking at another a transfer rumour that Manchester United are in for Real Madrid midfielder Casemiro. Again, is that too good to be true? Let's find out. Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford where the weather's a bit grim. I don't know, it feels like we're in the sunshine though, because we've heard the news, I'm sure you've heard the news, that Jim Ratcliffe could be interested in buying Manchester United Football Club, which is great news for anyone like myself who's had enough of the Glazers. Now, you know, be careful, I'm cautiously optimistic, but Jim Ratcliffe is a boyhood United fan. He is a very rich man. He wouldn't need more debts or loans to buy Manchester United. So it looks like there could be a serious offer there, and also someone who understands football. He's given a few interviews over the years, not many, but he's given a few where he's spoken about football. He tried to buy Chelsea in the summer, and he sounds like someone who knows what he's doing. We'll get into that in a minute as well. We've also got some transfer news that I want to get into first, because United, as you've probably gathered from all the stories you've read and seen, hopefully on this channel, and heard over the last few days, have gone a bit turbo with their transfer rumours, their transfer links. It looks like we could be in for as much as 5 players, or as many as 5 players, before the transfer window closes, which sounds a bit ridiculous, to be honest with you, but you never know. United have gone a bit sort of doolally, shall we say, in the transfer window before, in the days and the weeks leading up to deadline day. You remember a couple of years ago when it was like Palestri and Cavani and Diallo and Tellez all sort of got over the line within about 24 hours it was, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Well, United have been linked with several players, including Casemiro from Real Madrid. Now, we've had this story for a couple of days. When I first heard this, it's obviously the Brazilian midfielder at Real Madrid, one of the best midfielders on the planet, a defensive midfielder. I thought, that's too good to be true. But it looks like the interest, whether he's going to come or not is another matter, is real. Andy Mitten's done a piece in the Nacional where he speaks about this, and he says Manchester United are trying to sign Brazilian midfielder Casemiro from Real Madrid. He says the club are believed to be prepared to pay around 70 million euros for one of the stars of Real Madrid's recent successes, or recent success stories. The 63-cap Brazil international has been perfectly happy at Madrid, where he has an excellent relationship with Ancelotti, who considers him one of his main allies in the dressing room. And Ancelotti even apologised to him for getting him wrong in his first spell at Madrid when he loaned the player to Porto. So you think, okay, well, is that done? Well, there might be something in it anyway, because, I mean, I am sceptical, I'm not going to lie, but there's also the feeling that Casemiro, or that, you know, Casemiro could be open to a move if he can't get those assurances that he is going to feature predominantly moving forward for Real Madrid. And also, there's a lot of money on the table. I mean, I think he's 30 years old. There's talk of United giving him, you know, bumping his wages up. And you know what United are like? We'll probably give him a 4-year deal or something that'll take him up to, you know, 34. Obviously, my maths is right. You know, Real Madrid have got other options now. They brought in Tchouaméni, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. It's doubtful for me. I mean, I'm very surprised if Casemiro was going to leave a successful club like Real Madrid, where he is one of their best players, or one of their most, you know, important players, and come to Manchester United. But maybe if he's not getting the assurances he wants in terms of first team football moving forward, I know he has been a first teamer, if he does feel there's a lot of money on the table for, you know, a longer term contract than what he'd get at the Bernabeu, then maybe there can be something done there. It's one to keep an eye on, and as always, we will keep an eye on it, so make sure you are subscribing to the channel and let us know what you think of that story. Let us know if you've heard any other stories. If you've seen Casemiro down your local Morrison's, then give us a shout. Another player that we're in for is the Everton goalkeeper, Begovic. Now, this is a story that was doing the rounds this morning, I think last night as well, that Manchester United, I think you saw it in the Telegraph, it says that Manchester United target Everton goalkeeper Asmir Begovic. It says this follows the departure, obviously, of Dean Henderson to Nottingham Forest. David De Gea had a bit of a stinker, didn't he, at Brentford? There's question marks over whether he can play in Ten Hag's system, although Ten Hag has come out and vocally supported him. It's been no secret that Manchester United are looking for a backup option, and someone who can challenge David De Gea as well. Not just someone who can sit on the bench, but someone who could challenge David De Gea. Now, Begovic is 35. There's no spring chicken, but I'm not saying he's as good as him. But we bought Edwin van der Sar around the same age, didn't we? And he didn't do too badly. Now, he's had a decent career so far, Begovic. He's been more of an understudy, hasn't he? He was at Chelsea, wasn't he? He was at, I think he was at AC Milan as well. And at those clubs, I think he was understudy to Courtois at Chelsea and an understudy to Donnarumma at Milan. So he's been more of a number 2 than a number 1, but he has been number. I think he was at Stoke as well. So he would be a good addition, I feel, if we can get him for the right price. The rumours are, the stories are, and it says it in the Telegraph, that Everton are reluctant to let him go. He's obviously back up to Jordan Henderson. They want to keep him. Maybe United can make a deal happen if the price is right, if Manchester United can sort of come up with an offer that is tempting to Everton. There's also another goalkeeper we've been linked with as well. Fabrizio Romano tweeted this last night that Manchester United are interested in Jan Sommer as a backup goalkeeper. This is the guy from Borussia Mönchengladbach. And he's got a new contract bid, this is according to Romano, until 2025. There's also interest from other Premier League clubs, according to Romano as well. So it looks like there's something there anyway, where we are looking for goalkeepers, whether that is Sommer, whether that is Begovic. Obviously, we've only got a couple of weeks so we can make that happen, but we obviously need reinforcements. I know we did the debate between myself, Howson and Joe the other day about how much we love Tom Heaton. Well, me and Stephen Howson did anyway, winding Joe up a little bit. But realistically, I don't think you can say he's going to be challenging David De Gea for that number 1 spot. We need someone else who can come in and be not just an understudy, but challenge De Gea. And maybe Begovic or Sommer, one of those two could be the answer. Should we get into the Jim Ratcliffe stuff then? I mean, what's sort of been going on now at the moment is people have been looking at this. The news broke last night. I'm sure you're all aware. One of his spokespeople was reported by the Times, said that one of Jim Ratcliffe's spokespeople said that he would be interested in buying the club. Now, there was a story a few days ago about the Glazers selling a minority share. Now, there was a few sort of rumours and suggestions that the Glazers would be selling this minority share to some sort of fund, to some sort of equity fund. I think it was it? I'm trying to find it now. Sorry, I've got it on my list. It was Apollo Global. That was the one. Now these have a bit of a bad reputation, shall we say? This is a company that's been known for doing the sort of things the Glazers do. You know, leveraging debt and just putting clubs and putting assets in debt and not really making the most of them. Just sort of almost not stripping them, but not being good owners, shall we say? Not being a good company to get in bed with. Chris Winterburn tweeted this morning. I think it was this morning anyway, a few hours ago, saying, "I've no idea how it could happen, but I would suggest a lot of effort should go into Apollo Global not being allowed to get anywhere near Manchester United shares." He's also suggesting contacting the local MP for here, Stretford and Ermston, I think, comes under this constituency, Kate Green. That's what he went on to say. Yeah, don't know if that's going to happen, but in terms of Jim Ratcliffe, people have been going through his old interviews and what he said in the past. He has spoken about Manchester United in the past. He said he's a boyhood Manchester United fan. Like I said earlier, he tried to buy Chelsea, but he did say, you know, I've got split loyalties, I think. I used to go to United. More recently, when I've been living in London, I go to Chelsea. There's also this quote, I think this is in the MEN, but they've quoted it from the Telegraph, where he spoke about United in 2018. And he was sort of critical of what had been going on, and he said they haven't got the manager selection right, they haven't bought well, and he said that they've been, you know, that basically he was sort of summing up the situation at United as it was then and how things were going a bit wrong. Now I've looked at there's a link on the MEN website to the Telegraph article. I can't see the full quotes that the MEN have quoted on the Telegraph one, but he does mention United, and he just said that he's a season ticket holder at Chelsea, but he's been a United fan for years. So we know there's an interest in United. We know he's got money. He's worth around, depending on who you listen to, around 20 billion quid. So he's obviously got the money there. It looks like it could be a minority sort of stake he takes with a view to having a bigger stake. Listen, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for other Manchester United fans. I know you should always be a bit wary when you hear, oh, a billionaire's going to come in and save you. But from what I've seen and what I've read and who I've spoken to, it seems like Jim Ratcliffe would be a welcome antidote to the Glazers. Someone who cares about the club, someone who knows about how to run a club properly. I think he already owns Nice. He's already spoken about, you know, getting the right people in place, something the Glazers have never really done, especially in terms of overseeing the manager and the footballing side of things. They've just had bankers doing that. So yeah, Jim Ratcliffe looks like he'd be a good option. We'll have to wait and see if it happens though. I mean, you know, will the Glazers just sell to him eventually? Hopefully. But you can never trust him, can you? Because he just seems to get everything wrong all the time. One final story as well on Anthony. Just finally on another transfer story. It says here in the Mirror that United are preparing a massive Anthony offer in desperate bid to land Erik ten Hag target. United were in for him obviously a few weeks ago. We got priced out. Ajax was saying they wanted around, I think it was around 70-80 million euros or 80 million quid, whatever it was for him. That wasn't going to happen, but United could be back in with a big offer. So we'll wait and see whether Casemiro arrives, whether Anthony arrives, whether Begovic arrives, whether Sommer arrives, or whether Jim Ratcliffe arrives. We'll keep you posted on all those stories and many more. Make sure you you are hitting that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be chatting to Kieran Maguire later on today. He's the football finance expert from The Price of Football. Great guy. He spoke about Jim Ratcliffe potentially buying United when he spoke to me a few months ago. So we're going to get an update from him and what he makes of all this noise as well. So make sure you check that out. I'm in J Motti outside a pretty mild, shall we say, Old Trafford. Thanks for watching.